I didn't grow up dreaming of being a fighter. I just grew up trying to survive. Back then, life taught me how to run, how to hide, and how to fight back. Every single punch I've thrown, it wasn't just for a win. It was a way to prove that I mattered. Because when the world forgets you, you fight to remember who you are. You wouldn't be talking to me right now if I didn't find boxing. I would have been dead. When I was 12, I was homeless. Fuck, je m'excuse, dude, j'ai la misère. C'est tough. It's really hard. There was always anger in my household. My mom was an alcoholic. My dad went away, so my mom stayed at the place we were living in. And it got to a point where we were selling speed, cocaine, weed. I was the runner. I was like the less heat because I was only 12. And it got to a point where we couldn't pay rent anymore. And I went to my buddy's house for a weekend to sleep over there. I came back home and my house was empty but trashed. And I was just sitting on the only couch that was in the house. Like, I didn't know where my mom was at all. And then the landlord came in and told me like, hey, get the fuck out. You guys been evicted, it's been a few days. The only place I could think of going was across the street to a closed gated dumpster bin. It sucks to say that I couldn't reach my mom. I also felt like I couldn't go to my dad's. So I just stayed there. I had no place else to go. And my mom, I believe she went to rehab. I just felt like it didn't make sense. It just doesn't feel like you're supposed to be there at 12. Like, I must not be loved if I'm here. I thought I was gonna be alone forever. It was really hard. I never really processed it. I don't know how. My mom, when she got out of rehab, she got a pretty nice place in the country. And when I went to my mom's, I was like, this is so much more peaceful. I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells. And I decided to just move at my mom's. Everything I do, I feel like it came from a trauma, you know, and I never like really started a habit out of like excitement. It was always like as an escape. I proposed to the mother of my kid with a very expensive ring. She said no. I got up, got in my car, and I fucking started driving. Fucking pissed off. I didn't know where I was going. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to a pawn shop. I'm pawning this ring. I don't have the receipt anymore. You know, I'm just gonna pawn the friggin' ring. As I'm pawning it and I'm getting my money, I see a punching bag, some gloves. So I got back home to my mother, my kid, like her feeling so bad for saying no. And I was like, I'm good. And I went and hung up the punching bag. That was like 4 years ago, and I started boxing there. It's a great escape. Like when I put those gloves on, like my brain shuts off finally, and then humbled me. But there's always the thought of, I gotta be better, everyone's better than me. Can I even compete with these guys? It's always in the back of my head. I feel like I'm living in like imposter syndrome almost. Like I call myself a boxer, but I still always feel outcasted, and that's why I work so hard. My boxing journey hasn't been easy because every single time I would get close to having a fight or a competition, something would constantly happen where first thing I had an abscess. It was an infection that was wrapping around the jawbone. I did many CAT scans, and I found out that if it kept growing, that I was gonna have to have my jaw replaced with a piece of metal, like a surgery. I found boxing a way to escape, and everything in my life was like avoiding me from doing that thing. And then I start, you know, training again, gaining the weight. I'm living at a roommate's at the time. I'm not doing good financially. Then the buddy I'm living with threatens to stab me with a knife and kicks me out. So now I'm homeless. And then somebody at work that I barely knew, like I opened up to him and I told him I was homeless. And he's like, look, I have an RV, but I'm going hunting in a month. So you got a month, stay in it. Take the time it takes, you know, live there. And even though I was homeless and I felt again like at the same spot I felt when I was 12, like I had so much tools in my tool belt. So I knew kind of what to do to save myself from that feeling. So I didn't really feel hopeless, but every morning I would run on the same road and I would just look at sunrise and I would talk to God as I was running. Like, give me strength and guidance. That's basically like the key words of the prayers every morning. And now I'm healthy and I'm gonna be fighting soon, so I'm excited. Hopefully, knock on wood, nothing happens. My life today, wow. 4 kids in this household, a girlfriend, and me with my own fucking voices in my head. So it's really hectic. It's not easy with 4 kids, just like, hey babe, I'm going to train for 3 hours, but she supports it. I definitely feel a strong responsibility to provide for my family emotionally, financially, spiritually, because I don't want my kids to ever feel how I felt. I would tell my 12-year-old self that it's not his fault. It's not his fault. When you're fighting to survive, there's no end goal. It's non-stop. And what happens if you fight non-stop? You're gonna just literally mentally kill yourself, but fighting to win is because at least you see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm no longer fighting to survive. Wow, I'm not fighting to survive. That's crazy. People think fighting is about anger, but real fighters, we fight with focus, with love, with pain that we've turned into purpose. And that's the art of the fight. Sometimes I feel like I'm too far gone.